We have a Terran! It is ProtossPlayer in the bottom right. And we have our king. He is our king ×2 now. And he's Zerg. It would have been crazy if it was Zerg last game, but it's going to be even crazier now that it's a TVZ, because who knows if we're even ever going to get that. It is Rancor. Or sorry, not Rancor. It's Resoud. I saw the Zerg. We're just talking about Rancor. It's Resoud. Now that we're in it, I got to change some things up. So your turn.
Alright, so first TVZ, we're gonna see Resoud play a first non-Protoss game. Excited to see how he, plays, the unfavorable matchup. And ProtossPlayer, I don't know if anyone here commonly or regularly watches J2, but he is a long-time viewer and contributor to J2's channel, and I think we're all excited to watch him play.
Yeah, and I swear he's been all over pretty much donating to just like the whole fastest scene is on his shoulders right now, because he's gone ham on Jumper, and I'll just say like small streamers more so, because he really has donated a lot to Jumper's channel. He's done a ton. Artos isn't a small channel at all, but I've seen him donate a ton of subs, and that's not the only. That's just kind of how we got introduced to him. So I'm gonna rephrase this as that's kind of how like we all met him. Is he was just being super generous and really cool on everyone's channels, but more than that, like it's been really cool to have him play fastest with us and actually hang out. So he never had to do that.
Looking at the build here, keep in mind no one knows, or neither player knows their race. But we're seeing ProtossPlayer go for a Command Center first mech build. Barracks after Refinery. And this is going to play out amazing for him if eventually when he does scout him, he has tanks out and is able to basically threaten the choke immediately. We're also seeing a pretty early gas by Resoud. So depending on if he opts to go either for speed, for Zerglings, or layer, I think he'll be able to keep himself at bay for a bit, but the advantage definitely lies right now with ProtossPlayer.
Yeah, and so Resoud does have lings that he's going to scout the map with. I saw he kind of poked around with his overlords, and this is also going to break the fourth wall again a little bit. But thanks everybody for bearing with me while I kind of got it set up. I do like how he went CC into mech, and dude, that's so funny. He's like, we're going to scout every base. So Zerg is finally going to find ProtossPlayer, or should we say PTOS? Or
Cinch,
PP22.
thanks for the 1,000 bits.
Yeah, thanks, man. You're the man. He might actually get this. He's going to get this SCV. So that's going to slow down the mech. That's kind of annoying. He can start his next factory if he wants. I imagine that's what he's going to go for. And, okay, so ProtossPlayer will find him. They'll find him sooner rather than later, actually. And like you said, this is a really fun build for Terran specifically. Zerg, it's great because he actually can... He didn't get pressured at the beginning of the game to where he just like insta dies. We're actually gonna have like a kind of a mid game here, it's interesting for me.
Ooh. We're seeing Resoud. If you take a look at his base, he's mining guys. I don't know if he should have taken this engagement. I think he got a little too over eager with the Marine micro. If he had maybe one more Marine, I think he could have taken that fight or just waited on the Vulture, but. It's not too major. It does suck, or it's not too ideal that he loses that, loses those early Marines. It could have helped him with the initial push, but it's not a game changer. I wouldn't say right now.
No, it hurts. And so there was a pair of Zerglings for each Marine, which is the worst thing that could have happened. And so that's why all those Marines died. If the Marines even just targeted the Zerglings, they would have fared a little bit better. It just really went in the favor of Zerg, but.
We're seeing Resoud mine. Okay, he's fixed it now. I guess he just didn't realize it, but initially he was mining gas with 2 drones per geyser, and I noticed that was a thing with SCW players. But
who did we just learn that you only need 2?
For this fastest map is 3.
No, since he plays SCW, I think you only need 2, don't you? And that's probably why he only had 2.
based on what Momo did last Battle of the Beehive, yeah. I mean, no one ever told me, if that's what you're asking. That's what I just assumed.
I was in someone's stream that was playing SCW, and I could be wrong, so correct me, chat. But I do think that in at least some of the SCW maps, you only need 2 on gas. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. If that's the case, someone told me wrong, or someone was telling their chat wrong. But because I've been trying to watch more 1v1s overall, regardless of like just who's streaming and not just me trying to get into games. And so anyway, I'll watch like GG Easy and a couple other guys. Anyway, it's all hearsay right now.
So the issue with going mech is commonly Terrans will forget about going armory. I think they'll usually look to defend themselves with air or from air with turrets, and with mutas out, I think this may be the end here, unfortunately, but I think for Terrans, one thing to consider when you do go mech is commonly the counter will just be to go air, meaning you do want to throw your armory down pretty much as soon as your factories finish, and we may see sort of, the pitfall that most meching Terrans fall for, which is losing to mutas here.
Right. Like, Resoud, that was really smart. He saw that Terran was going mech instantly. Like, he had pretty much the 2 hatches for a few minutes, went straight into gas, started adding the extra hatcheries, and then it was just straight into mutas. So that's a really quick way to try to end the game. And just me another way of you just reiterating what you were saying. He's got a turret up at the front. This is an interesting idea. Let's just freaking YOLO the front of Zerg's base and turn it into a base trade. I like that idea. If Siege didn't finish, oh, don't sacrifice those Marines though. Oh, they're gonna walk into.
We're seeing ProtossPlayer have a last basically ditch effort to bust his choke.
Yeah. Resoud's not building any extra sunks. I mean, he could just bring his mutas home and hold it, but if he's not careful, he could. Oh, I just lost a tank. No, this isn't gonna work. It was a good idea, though. I like that idea. It's like, oh, you're going to hit me with mutas? Well, then, after this, I'm just going to send everything that I can at you. And
right. He may actually bust the choke here, so
I think he'll be able to throw down. Sunks, right?
Yeah, and then GG